What's up, everybody? Welcome back or welcome to another episode of The Real PLC. And unlike a normal PLC, this is a meeting that shouldn't be an email, and you actually want to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let you know today's episode is going to be an absolute banger. So make sure you got your pens and paper ready to take some notes. We're here with hands down one of the best musicians here at Callaway High School. You listen to the kids talk. They're talking about how awesome the class is. We were actually in our classroom yesterday, and some of the information that was dropped in that conversation was absolutely phenomenal. Singing at Carnegie Hall, even nerding out on music theory. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Miss Samantha Cotton. Welcome to the show.
Do I clap for myself?
Yeah, you can totally clap for yourself. Miss Cotton, thank you for being here.
Glad to be here.
We're super excited. This is going to be awesome. So it is a little scripted, even though I don't have a script in front of me. Yeah. The questions are pretty scripted. I believe. But look, so the ultimate goal of having this conversation was, and being an educator, we're not really seen as human. People kind of forget that.
Yeah.
And so just to provide us a platform to share our story, what we believe in, what we like, what we don't like, whatever you want to, in a professional manner, while still shedding light on the human aspect of us being teachers. Exactly. So without any further ado, let's get down to the very beginning. So we're going to go all the way back to your childhood.
Oh, gosh.
What was childhood like for a young Samantha Cotton?
Okay. Childhood for little Samantha Cotton. Well, born and raised in LaGrange, Georgia. Okay. Mom and dad, mom's an educator. Okay. Dad was a tax assessor and would appraise houses and everything. But he also coached basketball on the side. So grew up with being on the road, going to basketball games and whatnot. But there was always music in the house. Gotcha. And Dad always played piano, which that's where I got it from. Okay. But tiny me loved sports, loved cheering. Okay. I played basketball, also did the whole chorus thing. And probably it wasn't until 9th grade. Okay. So I went to LaGrange High School, Grangers.
We won't hold that against you.
Went to LaGrange High School, and they have a monster chorus program there. Gotcha. And every year would put on this big old spring concert where there's like lights, costumes, dancing.
It's the whole thing.
The whole shebang. It's a whole production. And got involved with that. Okay. But still, I was like cheering. I did varsity cheerleading, competition cheerleading in the fall, and then turn around and do basketball. And then also do chorus as well. But I didn't really like to play basketball, which is probably blasphemy for the Cotton family.
So did you play basketball because Dad coached basketball?
A little bit, maybe. But it was one of those, like, I did it, and it was fun at the time. But it was one of those, like, it's not my thing. Like, I get that it's a family tradition. Like, literally everybody played in the family. My dad and uncle are, like, legends at LaGrange College. And I was just like, it's fun for the time being. But started doing spring concert, and I like performing. Yeah. But the behind the scenes of it and putting everything together, picking out music, picking out themes, picking out costumes, intrigued me a little bit more. Gotcha. And that was when senior year, I was like, I think I want to get into music education. Because I always knew I wanted to be a teacher. Yeah. And that's what I gravitated towards, the music ed side and being behind the scenes instead of on stage in front of everyone.
Gotcha. Yeah. So in childhood, it seems like you had a pretty busy childhood. Oh, yeah. Like basketball, music, just doing some of everything.
Everything.
So in elementary school, what was your favorite subject?
Science. I was a science geek.
Why science?
I think I liked earth science. Okay. So earth science was my thing, and then outer space. Okay. Like, I loved astronomy, loved anything with NASA stuff, and had a little telescope. Like, it was the cutest thing.
Just like watching the
stars. This little
stars.
cheap telescope, and I would go outside and look at the moon, it was my whole shtick. And you could ask me about constellations. I'd be like, oh yeah, that constellation is over there. Orion is here. And if you look just to the right, that's Jupiter next to it. Like I
were like full tilt
into it. Like I love some outer space stuff, and I want to be an astronaut too. But I was really bad at like math stuff. I'm a terrible math. You could ask me like, what's 10 plus 15? I don't know. I don't know math things.
Is it in 4/4?
I
don't know.
That's it. I can't count. Don't ask me anything like past counting to 12.
Oh,
and I'm like,
no.
I don't know. I have no idea. No clue. But I love science.
Okay.
That was my go-to.
So was there like someone that kind of made you like love science, or was it just you were drawn to it?
I think I was just drawn to it.
Okay.
He's an inspiration, Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Bill Nye. Do you remember in elementary school when they would roll in the huge TV cart?
Big old like bomb of a TV.
Yes. Freaking gigantic thing.
Yes.
And you knew it was gonna be a good day.
Yes.
Knew it was gonna be
a good day. It was gonna be either read between the lines, lions, whatever. That show with the puppet lions.
The puppet lions, yeah.
That or Bill Nye or Magic School Bus.
Yes. Magic School Bus. I still catch myself like on Netflix.
Yeah.
Gravitating to
Absolutely. I show the episode where they go into the haunted house and it talks about the sound waves and stuff. I show that to the kids because it relates to things that we talk about in class.
Yes.
When it comes to like sound waves being bigger, that means it's a lower sound. If they're smaller waves, then that's higher pitch, whatever, like all that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So staying in elementary school,
Mm-hmm.
like, do you have like a teacher from elementary school that you're like, yeah, this teacher, like, if you were to see them today, you'd be like, thank you.
Yeah. Honestly, all of my elementary school teachers were like the best. I don't think I ever had like any bad experiences with them, but there was this one teacher, her name is Miss Teal.
Okay.
So shout out to Miss Teal. She was my second and third grade teacher, so I got her 2 years in a row.
She enjoyed you so much.
She loved our class so much that she stayed with us. And then she left and moved to Tennessee.
No.
And
traitor.
But like she was so involved and so supportive of like anything that we did. And probably if it wasn't for Miss Teal, like I don't think I'd have any of the confidence to do anything that I did growing up. Like she was very supportive and always said that I could do and be anything I wanted to be.
That's huge.
She was wonderful.
So pushing from elementary school, getting to middle school, and I don't think anyone has any good middle school stories. But there is one thing that I've kind of learned and noticed. The music that we listened to in middle school is like the music that we listen to today. What music were you listening to?
God, it's so.
You don't have to incriminate yourself, but like what music?
I'm proud of it because I still listen to it to this day. So I went through the whole emo phase.
Okay, so I don't feel bad.
I had an emo phase / horse girl phase.
Oh no!
I was a mess in middle school.
Definitely not editing that out.
Yep, I'm claiming it. But I was a big fan of Paramore. I love some Paramore. Evanescence.
Yes.
Linkin Park.
Yep.
Breaking Benjamin.
Yep.
I listened to Fall Out Boys.
Yep.
All of that. My Chemical Romance.
You're like punk goes pop hardcore.
I was all into it. I had a whole phase. Is it still a phase?
I think it's just a way of life now.
I think it is.
It's a way of life. It's not just a phase, Mom. It's a way of life.
But like the god awful band T-shirts are like way too tight. The skinny jeans, the Converse that you drew all over. That I feel like that whole bring it back. Honestly, bring it back.
I never went through like the fashion side of it, but I definitely went through the music side of it.
Oh.
Like I would show up wearing like a polo and like khakis and like jamming out to like, screamo.
So
yes. In my polo and khakis. Like, yeah, I'm numb. Yeah. What a life, right? Like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Like, yeah, what do I have to worry about? Like, Lord. But so you still find yourself like
absolutely
gravitating?
Absolutely. That's just like
the kids laugh like when they see my music playlist. All that stuff's like sprinkled in there, and they're like, "Who hurt you?" I'm like, "No, y'all just had to be there.
No,
you just had to be there."
7th grade was hard. I don't know what they're talking about.
7th grade is hard for anyone and everybody.
It was 7th grade year for me was a very trying time. So,
I think 7th grade was probably trying for Jesus too. Like Jesus.
Like it was one of those you were trying to find out what you wanted to do, who you wanted to hang out with. Your friends were scattered, and you didn't have like that core group, and you were put in all these weird situations.
You're a different human every day.
Every single day.
Every day you're a different human.
Every day. Every day. Oh my gosh.
All right, so in middle school, so you've already we know that you're like musically inclined. What were you doing musically in middle school? Oh God.
So in middle school, I went to Gardner Newman. Okay. And my 6th grade year, the chorus teacher, she was phenomenal. She still is phenomenal. She, Suzanne Logue, shout out her. She was my neighbor, actually. So I grew up with her, and honestly, I didn't even know that she did music.
That's wild.
Which I would go to her house and just harass her and just talk to her about random stuff and just be a nuisance. I was a kid. And get to Gardner Newman, and she's in my 6th grade chorus class. She's my chorus teacher, and I'm like, I know you. I know you. I didn't know you did this. And she took us to these different competitions. Okay. She exposed me and my classmates to this different side of music that I had no idea really existed when it came to choral music. So we were singing stuff in French, German, different, all the languages, and I didn't know that was a thing. It was really cool. And then my 7th grade year, she moved, I believe, to a school in Atlanta. Gotcha. And so we got another teacher who, I won't say we had a hand in it, but did not stay for his full school year.
Gotcha.
We were good on some days. On some days,
I pick up what you're putting down.
Yeah, okay. So he did not stay, so I didn't really get a choral experience my 7th grade year. Gotcha. But still, I was doing music at home and would play piano and stuff. And then 8th grade year, we got this lady. I honestly could not tell you what her name is to this day, but she was,
shout out to whoever you are.
Whoever you are.
I'm sure you were great.
The only thing I remember from her being my teacher, every Friday she would do these songs, and one of them that stuck out was the Booger song, and she would sing this song to us, and we would eat it up. Ew.
You said it. You said it. It's recorded forever.
Oh gosh, I'm just giving y'all all the memes, all of them. But that's literally the only thing. That was my choral experience.
I guess you can say you picked it up.
I did, yes. We really picked it up. Yes, but I will say 8th grade. Okay. LaGrange High School, they were getting ready for their spring concert. And we would always go and do the 8th grade visit and everything. And one part of it was getting to watch him do a couple of numbers. Cool. And I was like, I want to do that. Yeah. We hadn't done anything like that before or seen anything like that before. And I was like, I want to do that.
That's me.
That's what I want to do.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, middle school was an interesting time for me musically, but we're here.
Look at you now.
Look at us now.
All right, so you've talked about the LaGrange High and all that you did there. So what was your time in high school like?
Ooh. Honestly, I don't remember much. And it's not because I was a good kid. I had tons of friends, remember hanging out with them. Well, I won't say it was tons. I was nice to everybody. Yeah. And I had a core group of friends that we were always together. And music-wise, we would do spring concert. It was my freshman year, and shout out Katie Westbrook Trent. Love her dearly. It was her first year teaching at LaGrange High School. Okay. They had just had a big turnover from Marty Davis, also shout out Marty Davis. And she retired, and Katie came in, and Marty still had a hand helping her because, like I said, the program itself, it was a monster.
Yeah.
In my freshman year, I remember we did a big old Christmas production that was similar to the spring concert with the dancing and all that. It was insane. And then later that year, we had sang with LaGrange Symphony Orchestra and did Vivaldi's Gloria.
Y'all are big time.
It was, I'm telling you, like, Coach Reed, it was insane what we were doing, like, at such a young age, or being exposed to different stuff like that. But then you turn around in the spring and do, like, the pop music and, you know, bring in the more, you know, crowd-friendly things. But you'd think with kids they wouldn't buy into, like, the traditional choral music. But, the
typical
Yeah. But that ends up being the more fun, challenging stuff that, like, they're into and what keeps them in chorus because it's things that they've never heard of before, things that they, like, find, and then, like, it leads to other songs that are similar to it. It's such a cool experience.
Heck yeah.
So, like, 9th grade year, did all of that. Okay. Sophomore year, pretty much the same thing. And then, like I said, it wasn't until my senior year where I was like, I think I want to do behind the scenes instead of being in front of everybody performing. Like, I just like putting stuff together. Yeah. And being in charge.
Okay. Yeah. So I know, like, a lot of, like, so I was actually, like, a marching band kid in high school. Boo. So I was a music kid.
Kidding.
So, like, even though, like, you're doing the music thing, did you ever do, like, band, or were you just strictly, like, chorus?
Strictly a choir kid.
Strictly choir kid.
Strictly a choir kid. But all my friends were in band.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Everybody, the crowd goes wild. The man, the myth, the legend. Coach J. Will. Coach J. Will on the ones and twos.
Hello.
He's here.
What's going on, everybody?
He's here.
Sorry for my tardiness.
More friends.
I told you we were going to, like, over the top with this.
Miss Cotton.
Hi.
On the Real PLC. What's going on? How you feeling today?
I am fine.
Awesome.
We're having a grand time talking about boogers and.
What did I walk in?
Yeah. They ate it up. If you don't know what we're talking about, just run it back.
Yeah, rewind. You're probably gonna have to do that too.
Like, just rewind, pick it up.
We won't explain any further.
Eating boogers, picking it up, just having a good time.
Yep.
See what you missed out on?
I missed out on way too much.
This is what happens when you go to sleep on the Real PLC. I'm just letting you know.
That's crazy.
All right, so Miss Cotton's been filling us in on how, like, choir it was huge from middle school pushing into high school, and so as a former band kid myself, I did marching band in the fall. I did choir in the spring, show choir did choir in the fall and show choir in the spring. So you never did the band thing.
Never.
Strictly choir.
Strictly choir kid. Yeah.
Okay.
There was, like I said, I told him I had friends in band, and I thought it was so cool, like what they did and how much they would learn. But I just was like, not for me.
Okay.
No.
So going through school, were you like that girl? Like you knew you could sing? Like I'm her?
No.
Dang.
No.
So how did we get up to the Miss Cotton that was at Carnegie Hall? Let's go for it. Let's go for it.
I like to sing.
Right.
I sing all the time.
Yeah, you do.
But when
I hear her walking down the hall, she's humming a little something.
But when it comes to being in front of people and performing, I turn into a puddle. I am a mess. I am nervous. I am anxious. All the things. I do not like to sing in front of people. It is seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I don't sing in front of people. I won't do it, like, by myself. But
you take me as one of those people that when they're like, oh, like, sing for me, and, like, you sing bad on purpose to mess with them.
No, I've gotten to the point, like, if someone's like, oh my gosh, you're a singer, you teach choir, sing something, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No.
I don't ask you to type up an Excel sheet.
Right.
You're gonna accountant. Oh, do some math real quick for me.
Right.
No.
That's cool.
So how do you get to singing at Carnegie Hall?
Oh, okay. So I guess I'll start with college.
All right.
Let's
So here. So let's segue it this way. When you graduate college, graduate high school, do you have a plan, or are you just like drawing out of a hat, freelancing this thing?
Legit had a plan.
Okay.
Like, knew I wanted to do music education, and ended up going to the University of West Georgia. Okay. Go Wolves.
Go Wolves.
And it's all laid out. So how the music ed program works is basically we're like a little cohort. Come in. You had to take like theory classes, oral skill classes, which is like your listening and keyboard skills, and then like several hours of what's called Music 1000, where it's like studio basically. So like all the voice people would get together and from time to time do performances for each other, or it'd be a recital, and different like majors would get together and do a performance basically, and did all of that. Fun fact, I'm an awful student.
No way.
I am a terrible student.
Don't bet your money, folks. She's awesome.
No, I would pay attention, sort of. But just other things like scrolling through my phone or reading a book would just intrigue me a little bit more.
Teachers make the worst students. I'm just going to say what everyone's thinking.
I procrastinated. I waited till last minute to turn stuff in. But all of my professors were so supportive and would be like, look now, Sam, get it together. You have this to do. You need to go on ahead, do it. I'm like, God, okay. But I think, I'm skipping ahead. I won't skip ahead. But the connections that I've made from college with like all of my teachers. So while I was in college, I never worked. I've never had a job. Teaching is my first job ever.
Wow.
And one of my professors worked at a church in Carrollton, and she was like, okay, I'm going to do these little scholarships and invite 4 students to come and sing at my church. And from, I think it was my junior year all the way through to my like super senior year, because I stayed one extra year. Do your work, children. I had sang at this church, and I met so many people and different musicians while working at this church. It was one of those, like, we did the whole choral thing, but different musicians from the community would come in as well and play instrument, drums, guitar. Somebody had a dulcimer, a hammer dulcimer. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but it's like this little brown thing, and there's strings all lined down it, and you have these little hook hammer things, and would beat the mess out of it. It's the coolest instrument ever. All these different musicians that I would like talk to and meet, and they'd just like be in my arsenal. But then I'd get a call, be like, hey, are you available to sing at this funeral, or are you available to come and work with these kids? It was just like the connections that I made and still have to this day. Graduate, start working at Callaway Middle School.
Okay.
Started the program there. It was one. Okay, this is gonna sound bad.
We're human.
It's the real PLC.
I didn't plan to come back home. That wasn't a part of the plan. So graduated, did everything, survived EdTPA.
Oh.
EdTPA was.
For those that don't know.
Moment of silence for everybody that ever attempted EdTPA.
If you were wondering why we have a teacher shortage, I point you to EdTPA.
Golly, man.
If you want to know, it is solely because of EdTPA. EdTPA sucked.
It was not fun. I passed it by 1 point.
Yo, me too.
Same.
1 point.
Oh my God! Group high five!
How I found out too, I was helping at my this school that I was student teaching at. We had a production. We were doing Godspell, which is like one of my favorite musicals now because I helped with it. And the opening night, I got like the the results and saw that I passed by 1 point.
Yeah,
and I was like,
oh
my gosh, yes.
That's all it takes to win the Super Bowl, NBA championship.
1 point.
Actually,
1
now that I'm
point.
thinking back at it, I think I made like the minimum. Yeah, but you know what? It don't matter. Still passed.
Still passed.
Still passed.
Whatever it takes. But after doing all that, graduated, started working at Callaway Middle, and got involved with like community things. Okay. Started now the Choral Society of West Georgia, which is an ensemble of adults that get together and put on these wonderful choral concerts every fall and spring. Met amazing musicians through that as well. Then the accompanist that was for the Choral Society asked, "Do you sing at a church?" And I was like, "No, not right now. I'm just like teaching." And he was like, "Do you want to come sing at the church?" And I was like, "Yeah. I love singing in groups, not by myself. Not by myself. I have to make that very clear." And started singing at that church. Once again, different musicians would come in and like perform, and you network and meet people that way as well. So the Choral Society takes these trips every other year or annually, I don't know. That year they planned to go to New York and work with John Rutter, who is a wonderful heavy hitter of a choral conductor, composer. He's the man when it comes to choral music. He's him.
Gotcha.
Any like Christmas song that is like, it's probably him. So he was doing a residency at Carnegie Hall. Oh. That choral season, I didn't plan on going. And like went through the whole season, had a wonderful concert. I did have like a little sliver of a solo in one of the songs.
Oh.
But,
I only sing in groups.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Except for the sliver.
Yeah, except for that sliver.
The little sliver.
Sliver.
And after the concert, Miss Raylene, the one that was like over all the money and financial things, came up to me and she was like, "Hey, an anonymous donor decided to sponsor you on the trip to New York." Wow. And I was like, "Get out of here. What is happening?
Sheesh. That's big time.
What is going on?" And so obviously I got to go and went up there, and it was probably the coolest experience I've ever had. New York is fantastic. Yeah. If you haven't been to New York, go to New York.
Yes. I gotta go.
Second that motion.
Yes, it's great. Saw 3 Broadway shows because why not?
Right.
What'd you see?
I saw Wicked, which every basic person knows what Wicked is.
Yeah.
But seeing it live on Broadway was probably at the Gershwin Theater. Phenomenal. Like top of the line, probably one of my favorite musicals I've ever seen in my entire life. Phantom of the Opera, right before it closed.
Yes.
And then Hadestown, which was a new musical that came out. That's the retelling of Orpheus in the underworld.
Right.
A Greek mythology type thing. Fantastic. But then going in and having like these classes and rehearsals with John Rutter was amazing. And all these people from all over the country came together to do his Requiem, so Rutter's Requiem, and also a piece that he hadn't premiered yet, which was a prayer for the Ukraine, because at the time that was when Russia had invaded Ukraine and all that stuff was happening. Gotcha. Wow. And he wrote a song literally in one night and was like, "Okay, here we go." And we got to premiere it at Carnegie Hall. And it was probably the most gorgeous thing I've ever experienced. And it was just really cool getting to premiere a song and then also work with people from all over the country and all these musicians of various ages too, because you have like middle schoolers all the way up to like senior citizens in the choir, and it was fantastic.
I would love to see that photo album. I'm sure you took plenty of pictures.
all of the pictures on my phone. I have them.
Yeah, I want to see some of those.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's a heck of an experience. So, coaches softball. I love sports.
Mm-hmm.
Could you give us like a comparison of the guy that you're discussing? Is he like, would he be like LeBron James of what he does? Like what is?
He's not, or in my opinion, he's not a greatest of all time.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm trying to think. Do I know sports well enough? I'm trying to think quarterback wise.
Peyton Manning?
He should definitely get some credit.
Patrick Mahomes?
He should get some credit, yeah.
Okay.
I would like a Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's good, but he's not like the greatest.
Yeah.
Like the greatest. I'm sorry if I've offended any. What is he, a chief? Redskin?
Yeah, he's a chief.
I don't know. Football things.
We didn't say that Redskin word. No, I'm kidding. We've literally talked about picking boogers, so calm down.
I don't know, it's Taylor Swift's team or something like that.
The one she just bought. Yeah.
The Kansas City Swifties.
Yes.
I love it.
But like he's up there, and like since that moment, I feel like it just snowballed into meeting all these low-key famous people and musicians and stuff like that. So earlier we talked about the type of music that I listened to when I was in middle school.
I don't know if I really asked Coach J Will this question.
Right?
So let's see.
I'm kind of curious. So what did you listen to when you were
Coach? Yeah.
In seventh grade?
I'm definitely on Future's pretty hot at this time.
Okay.
Rich Kids, a little Travis Porter in there. I always keep the old school. My parents listen to the Patty, the Luthers.
Yes.
Kiss
104.1.
Kiss 104.1. That's it.
Yes.
I should have just said that. That would have got everything.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm definitely on Lil Wayne, T.I., Ross.
Carter. What was it, like Carter
3?
That had like
anytime you heard that lighter flick,
yeah, you already
Lil Wayne track.
Yeah, you know it's fire. That's what he was doing.
Yeah.
It's fire.
Yeah.
He letting you know that.
Yes.
Literally and physically.
Wayne, a very smart individual, by the way.
Very. Have y'all seen the interview where they ask him like, "Do you like know your lyrics?"
Yeah, I've seen that.
He's like, "No, He's like, I have to Google the lyrics before I go on stage." He's like, "I don't know my lyrics."
That.
Yeah.
I swear, you like. Well, we can look it up afterwards. But he's like, "No, I literally like Google my lyrics just to make sure I say something close to that on stage."
Bro.
He's probably just like improving the whole time because he'll have
he doesn't write.
Bracelet.
He just goes off the top of his head.
That's insane.
Like everything's like 90% improv. That's insane.
That's impressive though.
It is.
That is insane.
Like improv something like right now. Like
Cool. Here we go. Yeah. It's your boy J Will on the mic. We in the real PLC tonight. We gonna do our thing with Miss Cotton. Yeah. That's all I got right now.
Ad lib.
Okay.
Yeah. The rest of it is $3.99 on Apple Music.
Now do that on like 7 albums. And like 10 tracks
subjects.
apiece.
Right.
Jeez. Lord have mercy.
Trying to stay relevant in all. So my question for you, Ms. Cotton, as you're developing these relationships throughout college and all this stuff, do you know you're developing these relationships at the time? Is that intent?
No. So I feel like I never ever want to come across anytime I meet anybody, especially if they're of importance. I'm putting quotes around that. I never want it to seem like I'm trying to just get to know them, to use them for anything or just anything. What is it? Smoozing. Smoozing.
Yeah.
I never want it to be like that. I genuinely try and just like meet people, just be like, "Hi, I'm Samantha Cotton. I direct choir. Love what you do. Blah blah blah." And then it eventually like develops from there because somebody somewhere. Apparently, people talk a lot in LaGrange. Is weird. There's all the gossip. What? But they'll hear my name from someone and 99% of the time it's like good things. And so then they may ask like me a favor and then I'd be like, hey, can I use you for something else?
Yeah.
And that's like where that, it never is like the intent of I need to use them later down the future.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm introduced so you know who I am.
Yeah.
And like you put a face to a name and a thing that I do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I try and just be
That's
nice.
dope.
So you said that, like, so out of college, your first job is at Callaway Middle School. So what was it like going straight from, like, so there's no detours, no pit stops, straight from graduation
To
like,
teaching.
so did you know, like, when you graduated, did you already have the job lined up, or is it like a period of time where you were just like, I don't know what I'm going to do?
Yeah. It was mainly, I had no clue what I was going to do. But connections.
Yeah.
They play.
I have a friend whose mom was, I want to say she was maybe a secretary, I don't remember, at Long Cane Elementary. And the Callaway job had, like, just opened up. And she was like, hey, I can, like, put in a good word for you, go on ahead and apply. And is it okay if I give your number to the principal at the time that was there? And I was like, absolutely. Like I said, I didn't intend on coming back home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was one of those, a job is a job, and I'm a 22-year-old trying to survive.
Yeah.
So, ended up interviewing at Callaway Middle. That's the only school I interviewed at, too. And got a job and moved back home for a little bit. And then I got my own place because I was like, I love you, Mom and Dad, but I want to be here.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
I want to do my own thing. And it was one of those, growing up here, there's 3 high schools, 3 main high schools, LaGrange, Troup, Callaway. Callaway has always been seen as like the redheaded stepchild out of the 3. It's the smallest, it's the newest, so it's just sometimes overlooked. And I'm not gonna lie, I came in with that like impression of like, ugh, this is gonna be rough first year. I get here, my chorus class total, I had 12 kids.
Yo.
I had 12 kids to start out with. And then that was my 8th grade class at the time. 7th grade, probably about like 15. And then 6th grade was a little bit bigger because they were all new. And there was probably like 20 of them. And so I was like, what am I going to do? But most of those kids that I had, they were so welcoming and willing to do anything. Because I came in with the energy. Yes, I had the thought like, oh gosh, it's going to be a train wreck. But I came in with my standards are way up here.
Yeah.
And you're going to meet them. And they were right on board with it and wanted to put in the work. And that's all I feel like any Callaway kid needs is like to know somebody has faith in you and you have a bar that you have to reach and you can do it.
Yep.
And that was all it took. And then eventually the program grew from like, math, here we go, 12 plus, 15 plus 20, roughly like 40 kids to like 100 by that next school year.
Yo.
So it was like one of those, okay, I can do this. And it was really cool starting my own kind of program because before they had different teachers coming in and out. And I was like, no, I want to be that one that stays and build something and give them something that they can be proud of and give them opportunities as well that they have never had before, which that's what happened when it came to performances. They got asked to sing at the ASC from when they do the meetings. LGPE, which is Large Group Performance Evaluation, down in Columbus. We had planned to go to the Southern Star Music Festival at Six Flags, but COVID hit, and so we ended up not going.
Stupid COVID.
Yeah, right. Ruined everything. Ruined everything. But it was just one of those, like, I saw that these kids needed and wanted something, and that's why I stayed. That's what, like, brought me, or has kept me here, is these kids, mainly. I don't do it for myself anymore. I thought it was for myself, but no, it turned into, like, it's for...
If you were doing it for yourself, you probably wouldn't
I
wouldn't be
wouldn't
here.
be here.
No.
You wouldn't
I
be
wouldn't
here.
at
That's
all.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's exactly why I told you that earlier.
Yeah.
We
had a moment.
We had a moment earlier. So I was late because of Black History Program practice, right?
Gotcha.
And so Miss Cotton, Miss Hammond, they had those kids rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
And it wasn't all peachy cream now. You know, like she had to get at the kids, but they responded well. Like they already knew her expectation and where that bar was, and they got right.
You know, that's the beautiful thing about expectations, though. Like rules, you try to bend and break them.
Yeah.
Expectations, you either meet them or you don't.
Yeah.
And like that's the cool thing about music is like, come performance time, you got one go.
Yeah.
Right.
You either do it or you don't.
Yep.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. So, obviously, we're doing the real PLC here at Callaway High School.
Yeah.
So you said you're at Callaway Middle School.
Yeah.
What made you want to go a little bit further down Hammett Road
Okay.
to get to the high school?
Yeah.
So when I was at the middle school, the choir director here was also the band director. So they had
It's tough.
him doing both. And band was functioning and chorus kind of like
Backseat.
yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit because he wasn't a chorus guy, he was a band guy.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And I guess after like I grew the program here, I would send kids like classes of 8th graders, 20 of them, to go up to do the chorus program, and none of them would join because it wasn't what we were doing at the middle school. And I tried to feed it into those kids. I was like, if y'all don't join, nothing will change.
Yeah.
You have to grow that program to get a need to split it and bring somebody up and whatnot. So at the time, I believe Dr. Laney was the principal while I was at the middle school. And then there was a turnover with him and Graham.
Okay.
And Graham came in and he was like, he'd seen what we'd done at the middle school. And then I think he created the choral position because then the band director was like, deuces, and left like mid-year, and which sucked for both band and chorus at that time. And the middle school band director had moved up to the high school, and obviously he had to like keep the chorus class and everything. But Graham, I guess, saw the need to divide because I mean we were doing stuff down at the middle school, and then send him up and
Nothing.
Like obviously there's a need for it.
yes,
Yeah.
and so he split the job. I'm sure he interviewed other people, and I don't want to say like I knew I was gonna get it, but it was one of those like it just made sense.
Yeah.
I'd already had those kids that were at the high school, and it would be so great to just get them all back. And
Just
like,
a smooth transition.
Yeah, and it was.
Good.
And I will say.
There was no drop off. Like you got here and you
And
just got to rocking and rolling.
Yeah,
like
'cause, I mean,
kids
they already knew.
Already.
They knew what was up.
Yeah.
When I told my middle schoolers that I was leaving, because it was like halfway through, 2022, 2021? 22. Halfway through 2022-21 school year. 23. I don't know. Time.
I do remember because that was like so. I remember my first year at Callaway Middle School. Like I remember seeing you as like the course, like over course and everything, and all of a sudden it was like we get back from Christmas break and they're like, "Hey, we got a long-term sub in chorus," and I was like, "Wait, what?" I ain't gonna lie, low key, I was like, "How do I get on that same?" Spoiler alert, I did.
No, we had a concert, and literally before the concert, I sit them down because I was like trying to give them a little pep talk before we get up on stage, and I sit them down and I was like, "I'm leaving."
Before the concert?
Before the concert.
Dang, gut wrenching.
Before the concert.
That's evil.
You should have seen all the tears. The floor is still probably soggy.
Wow.
The tears.
Break your heart. Go break a leg.
Yeah. But I told him, I was like, but it's like, don't worry. Like, y'all see me again, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel, and I tell them this too, they may have been so bitter and upset about it that night. But I said, if I didn't tell y'all that I was leaving, y'all probably wouldn't have given me the performance that y'all did. And it was probably like one of the best performances.
The coach always knows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm so serious. And I didn't cry. And I don't cry. I don't cry. Like it's not
Just
something
there's
that
a sliver.
do. Yeah. But like that night when I have to do like all my closing remarks and everything, my voice cracked. I was upset. I had to do the whole pause and everything. But I didn't say why. Yeah. And all the poor parents were so confused because the kids were all red in the face and like puffy eyed. And they're like, what happened? And shout out to, am I allowed to say students' names on here? I'm going to leave it.
Yeah, I don't mean, if you want to. It don't matter.
It's this little redhead girl that goes here.
Okay.
She's a cheerleader, very involved. She was like asking me, let me talk, let me speak. And I'm like, no, like chill out. But I let her talk like at the very end. I was like, okay, here you go. And she gets the mic and she's like, I love Miss Cotton and I love chorus and she's leaving.
Oh no.
And I'm just like, yeah.
Give me the mic back.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you're done.
She caught
But like she told everybody because I didn't plan on like eventually it would have gotten out, but like I didn't know she would out it that way. But it was one of those, like I said, if I hadn't have told them, I wouldn't have gotten the performance that they did. It was very emotional. They put every little bit of lung power they could have as a middle school chorus, and probably like top 3 favorite concerts that I've done since starting teaching.
I will say this is an exclusive right here. I've never told you this. But since you've been here, missing a choral performance is on the same level as me missing a Friday night ball game or a Tuesday night soccer game.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Heck yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's big deal for me. It's a big deal.
Thank you.
Like, because I come and watch y'all practice. I enjoy that. I come and watch them sometimes, just like I do any other sports team.
Those rehearsals are rough.
And they putting their all into it, man.
Yeah.
You know, and it's amazing what you do. Music moves all, in my opinion.
I feel like a terrible human because I haven't been to a chorus event.
Yo,
you're more than
the first time you go to one, you won't want to miss another one.
And I know I need to, like, as a former, choir
most definitely.
Totally.
But, I'm, like, due to contract obligations, it keeps me busy year round. No. And when I get time off, I talk to the kids.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Because there's a few like choir kids and like that play softball, and I'm like, how'd it go? And they're like, oh my God, let me tell you. And I'm like, please tell me.
Yes.
Yes. I'm glad. Yeah, no, if you do ever, it's one of those. Now that I'm here, I'm able to do more.
Yeah.
It's the same format that I did at the middle school, but it's one of those like I'm able to just take it all the steps further.
Yeah.
So like in the fall, I try and do like the traditional choral concerts where we are doing the like formal wear, everything like that. Heck, we have it at a church every year.
Yes.
And,
beautiful. Downtown LaGrange.
Yeah.
Presbyterian.
First Presbyterian of LaGrange. Wonderful sanctuary.
Beautiful.
The acoustics are peak.
All right, I'm going to say this on the air. I, Dalton Reed, will find a way to make it to an event.
Absolutely need to.
That way now the universe can hold me accountable.
Absolutely. Putting it out.
Yeah.
But then in the spring, it turns into just a whole Broadway production. And so every year I do a theme. When I first got here, the theme was This Joint is Jumpin'. So it was like a 1920s speakeasy. Mr. Graham was like, he put on a whole New York accent. It was fantastic.
Yo.
It was so fun. And all the costumes and the bare minimum lights, but we won't talk about that.
We can talk about it if you want. The powers that be might be listening.
Get us some lights, please. But every year I do a theme, so Join Us Jump In. Last year was the magic and music, so all the songs had to do with magic.
Okay.
And then this year is
Is this an exclusive? Right?
We're getting an
The
official
real
drop of the theme.
Yes, so this year's theme is called Big City, Big Dreams. And please, Mr. Williams, do not cry. I know how emotional you get. It's okay. But this theme was a theme I was going to do when COVID hit. And those 8th graders are seniors this year.
Yo.
And they were like, we have to.
I got
What's the date?
Yeah, when is this?
May 9th, 10th, and 11th at Hogansville Elementary.
Yep, we adding this right on.
You heard it
But
here,
it's-
folks.
yes,
As soon as tickets are available, we'll let you know so
Yes,
you can go
absolutely.
and purchase your ticket. Even if you can't show, donate.
Yes. But this theme was about a girl, or is about a girl now, and she moves to New York to follow her dreams, and it's like her little story, but it's one of those everything doesn't go as planned, but it's you pick yourself back up, and the people that you meet along the way, the connections,
Circle back.
yeah, the connections that you make and the support that you have from them keep you going and make you want to try again and stuff. So that's the whole theme for this show. And I'm so excited because we're doing all the songs that they were going to do. And the senior song is You Will Be Found from Dear Evan Hansen. And they made it like the seniors were going to riot if that wasn't going to be the senior song because it was their 8th grade send-off song. And I was like, of course. And I'm telling you, there's a part in it where you have all these harmonies happening, but there's a part where everybody's just singing in unison all together on the same notes. And it's out of the shadows, the morning is breaking, and all is new. I'm probably going to have to, like, cry.
You can't fake those.
I'm going to cry.
Yeah,
It's going to hit me so hard, like a ton of bricks. And especially on that last performance, it's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be so ugly.
Because this is your first group, like your first ever group.
So the 8th graders, when it was COVID, they were my first group of 6th graders that were all mine and hadn't had another teacher. And so now they're seniors.
That is a special group.
That is. It's a very special group.
Yeah.
And
Hey, Kleenex, we're probably going to need a sponsorship for tissue.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, in like these concerts, does every year have a different senior song, or do you have
Every year has a
different one? So shout out to Miss Nancy Hurd and Miss Jamie Bernard.
Love her.
When I was when I did show choir, like our song that like really hit the seniors was we sang "Seasons of Love" from Rent. You know, it's very cliche.
Yes. But it fits. It's so fitting.
And then it turned into any alumni that were in the crowd would come on stage.
Oh.
And we would do like an alumni performance of Seasons of Love. And like we would be with like the current cast. And it was the same thing, just like tears.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Because like all the soloists, because there's 2 solos in there. All the soloists would like, they would sing their solos together.
Oh, I love
And so you'd have like it's not a group solo, but like but I mean, it was just like, And then of course we would get like free reign to just like, if you hear a harmony, you shoot for it.
You just do.
So like you just have harmonies coming at you like 8D in your face, just like hello.
I love that so much.
Yeah. So when you said that about senior songs, I was like, I wonder if it's different.
I fit it to the theme.
That's cool.
It's hard to find songs that like fit themes as well, and especially when it came to senior songs. Like last year, the show was about magic. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do for magic.
I've got the magic.
We not really like fitting for like one of those that make you feel some type of way.
Tearjerkers.
Get you in your emotions. And I was searching, I was like, inspirational songs about magic. And the song, If It's Magic by Stevie Wonder came up. And I was like, let's see what this is about. Because we already had a song that we were doing. We did Superstition in that show. And played it in the first line. Once again, don't cry, Jay Will. It's, if it's magic, then why can't it be everlasting? Immediate tears.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Immediate tears. And that was like, it just encaptured everything that like these kids had gone through, because like once again I had them at the middle school, and then to move up with them and have them for that group 2 more years, it was like so special
Yeah.
and such a wonderful moment and just fitting. So it's hard to find these songs, but also just so rewarding when you do that. It just fits.
It fits.
It's perfect. For it.
Perfect.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
And that's something they'll never forget.
Oh yeah. I hope not.
Man.
Don't forget me. Don't you forget about me.
That's that sliver.
But she, I was about to say, but she only sings in groups. All right, so this is kind of like a special Black History edition of the Real PLC, leading up to our program that's coming up what, Thursday.
Yes.
Thursday.
So
morning.
Thursday morning here at Callaway High School, we're gonna have our Black History program, which I know both of y'all are a part of.
We are.
Yep.
So, a little fun fact about the Real PLC: it started out. I always put him on blast for it, but it's because I love him. So last year, we did the town hall
Yes.
thing for the
Cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. And so the original idea was to do a podcast. So I asked this guy, and not gonna say names, but I'm definitely eyeing.
He's in the room.
Yeah, he's in the room where it happened.
I
So
think they're talking about me.
that was a good one. How many music puns can we throw in here? Right? So I was like, hey, would you like to do a podcast? He was like, no shot.
Oh.
And I was like, okay.
Straight like that.
I asked a couple other history teachers, and they're like, and so I was like, okay, whatever. So we'd go town hall road. So this year, I look at the gentleman that's in the room and say, hey, I want to do a podcast on campus.
Okay.
And he gives me a major compliment, and he goes, I'll only do it if you're the host.
Okay.
So I was like, bet we're going to make it happen.
Okay.
So that's how this came to be, and
God.
and perfectly timed up for us to do kind of like a special edition Black History,
Right.
Episodes.
Right.
I think this will be episode 3.
Three.
We got it.
Going. I'm a huge fan.
Yes. So we got to get this guy. So ironically, he was also supposed to be episode 1.
Oh.
But there was some weirdness that happened with
We
the,
just
with
worked the
equipment.
kinks out with my,
Oh.
with
Yeah,
my interview.
and
That's
so
all.
I gotta just double back and re-record his
Right,
because it's a
right.
banger. It's
Oh my God!
it's
Can
a
I
good
be the
story.
host?
Hey, you can
Like
sit
the
in.
co-host?
You can be the co-host.
Oh
you
my
can sit in
gosh,
on it.
yes.
Hey,
I'll only do it if you two do it.
Okay.
y'all heard it.
Absolutely. This
Y'all heard it.
This
Miss
is
Cotton's got to come back.
This
Yes,
is like
absolutely.
it's audio gold now.
absolutely.
So with this being a special edition, I do have some Black History questions for you.
Absolutely.
All right. So the first one is, what has being Black in education done to you?
Well, ooh, what has it done to me?
Yeah.
I feel like it's made me more resilient.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, I'll even start from when I was a kid in
Please.
middle school. Going back to middle school,
Oh, middle school.
I'll say I'm probably one of the luckier young Black women and Black little girl that didn't really experience any type of like racism or discriminatory things. I'm sure it did happen, but I was just so like in my own world and focused on what I needed to do that it didn't get to me
Yeah.
until I was in the 6th grade. And I will never forget this. And you missed this earlier. He asked me what my favorite subject was in school, and I'm a science geek. I love science. And so when I was in 6th grade, all of my friends were put in the advanced science class. And I was placed in like, it wasn't remedial, but you could tell
It was like
was a
Gen
different-
Pop.
it was,
Like Gen Pop science.
yeah, it wasn't a good group because all the kids were bouncing off the walls, doing what they weren't supposed to do.
Yeah.
Very low, and then like all the work was like way too easy, too. And I was one of those kids. If it was too easy and I got done and I was bored, I would do something.
Yeah.
So, I brought it up to my mom and told her like how awful the class was, and she was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Mom, I'm in like a not remedial, but
like Science 099.
Yeah,
We'll call
like-
it what it is.
it was a very low level science class." And she was like, And she goes to the teacher and she's like, "Hey, why is Sam like in this class?" And she was like, "Well, you know, just based on some of her work that she's done, she needs to be in this type of class. And my mom's like, let's see her work. She pulls up all the work. A's. Okay. And sorry, this teacher is a white lady. And I was like, okay, so if she's passing everything and says that she wants to do something harder, which I feel is very rare, then why won't you let her or move her into the other class? She's like, well, here's what we can do. I can give her the test that like the advanced class is taking, and if she does well, sure, I'll move her, but I don't see that happening. Take the test. I scored higher than the kids in the advanced class.
Wow.
Like,
knock it out the park.
It was one of those, like, really? Like, you just you see someone and just put them in this little box.
Yeah.
And
it's dangerous.
It is dangerous.
So dangerous.
Yeah.
And, you know, that from that experience on, I never let what anybody say put me down. They could hate me all they want. They could say I do too much. They could say I'm stuck up, whatever. But I know, like, I have a mission. I have a goal. I have plans, and you're not going to get in the way of it.
Yes, Lord.
It happened teaching-wise, too. Second year teaching. Kind of had a very rough year with some people. and it was still just one of those, like, you're not going to get in my way. I know what I need to do. I know what these kids want, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get it to them.
Right.
Yeah.
So, resilience.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Dope answer.
No,
Golly.
that's solid. Because then my next question was going to be, what is being black in education done for you? But you just answered it all together.
Nice bow on that.
That was awesome.
I'm also psychic.
I believe it now.
Lottery number?
You know, yeah. First three numbers that come to your head.
Yeah. Let's start.
Remember, I can't count past 12.
Hey. So, you know, since this is the real PLC and we just kind of lay it out there, I got in trouble like my second year teaching because I brought it to someone's attention. I was like, have you noticed how we have more minority students in our like our remedial the slower paced classes than we do our advanced and like on level classes?
Exactly.
And they were like, no, we don't. So I took it upon myself to just highlight on a roster. And it was like, here. And needless to say, it kind of got me in a little bit of trouble. Needless to say, I'm not at that place anymore.
Didn't need to be.
But it was just like, how can you, and I think on the Black History episode, I think it's fair we talk about it. Like, I think it happens way more than people realize.
It does. It really does.
And not just black students, but just minority students in general.
Yep.
Like, it happens way more than people ever, think about. If we weren't recording this on a school campus, I would go into my even deeper opinions of this, but I like to get paid. So maybe off air. So now another Black History question for you.
Shoot.
Okay. If you could just give one message to the black students, so let's just say minority students here on Callaway High School's campus, why should they go into music education?
I feel music itself, it's one of those, everybody loves it. Everybody finds something in common to talk about when it comes to music. When it comes to teaching, it does take a special kind of person because that's added level to it. Yeah. And you have to get people to buy in. Right. Buy into what you're doing. So if you know you like to be a teacher and you know you like music, it's fun. Yeah. Do it. And you get to create those connections, build those connections, meet new people, and it opens so many doors to endless possibilities, not just like within Georgia, out even further.
Yeah. Like Carnegie Hall.
Like Carnegie Hall. The possibilities are endless, and I feel if you want to travel, if you want to meet new people, music ed is what it's for you.
Heck yeah.
And if you like to also see that aha moment, as people say, as an educator, then seeing that aha moment. I'm telling you, you will cry when they first do something on their own. You've taught them everything that it is to teach them, and then for them to take it and then make it their own and then put it on for other people and have that pride about it. It's such a special moment and something to go through all the classes, all the ed TPAs, all of that, graduating to just see that one little moment.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Heck yeah.
You do a phenomenal job in corralling the students and getting them to do what you need them to do, even though you're not watching them.
Yeah.
At any given time, you can walk down the 200 hallway, 3:30, 4 o'clock, and you see kids in the hallway
Getting ready for
rehearsal with no cotton in sight.
Yeah.
And they're out there doing it.
Yeah.
I'll walk by, hey, Mr. Williams, hey, Mr. Williams. As soon as I walk on, they're back to it.
We are low-key a cult, people say. We're a choir cult. We do have like a little chant as well.
Oh, God.
There is a chant. It changes depending on like what the song is.
Yeah.
But like one
Drink the Kool-Aid. No. Totally kidding.
No, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't do that. But no, one year it was so funny. One of the admin walked in and we were doing a warm-up, but I just used like one of the words, Musica Dei, which means like music from God or something like that in Latin. Doesn't help that it's Latin. Oh God.
We'll conjure up the
and-
spirit.
But like the lights were off and I had like the little like LED lights going and we were like chanting Musica Dei, music. And
Oh, wow.
and we were like, what is happening?
Yeah.
It's just
But
like,
it was just like a warm up to like get everybody like energized.
that's when just like you let the kid with the deepest voice be like, leave.
And everybody stops and just turns. To
Bro,
look
that
at
was
them.
me. I'm definitely closing the door.
Yeah.
Very, very slowly.
You're getting a 4 on your TEKS
Yeah.
evaluation.
Obviously, you're doing something right.
Don't chant at me.
No.
All right, so little fun questions for you.
Okay.
So, I too am a nerd. So, you get your little Doctor Who TARDIS, and you can go back in time and see Little Sam Cotton.
Okay.
Part 1, do you tell her who you are? And then part 2, what knowledge bomb do you drop on Little Sam?
I'm trying to think, do I want to go like the serious route or like the funny route?
And it can be at any given age. So
Okay.
I say like Little Sam, but like it could be any like impressionable age.
Oh, I'd probably go to college age Sam.
Okay.
When I was like a senior, first go around senior. And tell her you made it. Keep going. It's hard right now. It's a lot's going to come at you, but you'll be fine.
Gotcha.
You are fine. And then, what was the second question? I forgot.
So would you
Knowledge bomb.
Knowledge bomb?
Yeah. Would you tell like first go around senior Sam like who you are? Do you think that Sam recognizes who you are today?
I don't think she would. I really don't think that she
That was a lot deeper of a question.
Yeah.
than
Man, it was.
would.
I
No, wow.
You took me somewhere right now.
Sorry.
Oh, man.
Didn't mean to make y'all feel like that way.
Golly.
I honestly don't think she would because the confidence, especially that I've gained since being in college,
Yeah.
completely different person. Completely different. But it's one of those, like, at that time, I don't know what it was that kept me going anyway, but if I'd had somebody come to me and be like, you're going to be okay, I definitely would have for sure been like, oh yeah, I'm going to be fine. But it was still one of those, I was unsure.
Yeah.
I had the plan and I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know if it was going to come into fruition. And just to have that person be like, you're fine. You're going to be okay.
Gotcha.
You're going to make it through. That's what it is. And then not say who I am. Maybe cloak myself.
Oh my God.
Just show up, like, hands in the robes. And just
You could be
like,
that sliver again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to hang on to that one.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be out in the hallways with Sliver.
Sliver. It's a sliver.
Lord. All right. So you get the same Doctor Who TARDIS,
Okay.
and you can spend a day with anybody,
Oh.
past, whatever. Who would it be and why? If she says what you said,
Bro.
and Walker said, and Rob said,
Bro.
I'm gonna lose my mind. All right. So go ahead.
I think I know who they said.
Oh yeah, you've already
She's an
listened.
avid
I've
watcher.
seen it.
She's an avid watcher.
It's not fun.
Listener.
But I think. Oh, am I allowed to pick two?
You know what? Yes, you can pick two. You can pick two.
Yay. Okay.
We'll bend the rules.
So I would go back and meet both Maya Angelou and Whitney Houston.
What?
Yo.
Both of them, they're my queens. I aspire to be the woman that was poised and so wise that Maya Angelou was. And then with Whitney Houston just being the boss that she was, despite everything that she went through, despite everything that was against her. And it was one of those, she needed that person, that time travel person, to be like, you're going to be fine. But at that point, I think it was too late for her.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love to just like pick their brains and talk with them and just feel like y'all are such an inspiration and part of some of the reasons like I am who I am today.
Yo.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Everyone. It's all in me.
I knew we were gonna find some more. Lord. All right, so a little bit of a deeper question.
Oh.
You make it to the end of your teaching career.
Mm-hmm.
You finally say, I'm hanging it up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm retiring. What do you hope is said about you and the person and educator that you are? What legacy do you want to leave?
Oh. Is it weird? I don't see myself stopping.
Okay.
I don't see myself stopping.
It makes me so happy.
It does.
Another perk, if I, to tell like any young black girl, boy, student, doesn't matter, that wants to go into music education, you can do this for forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it's something that you can just sit. You may like fingers may not be able to work the same way, but you can hire somebody to play for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the knowledge that you share with the kids and still attain,
Yeah.
like it's endless. So, but I mean, to humor you and like,
All right, so let me rephrase the question then. So you're at year whatever, and a former student comes back.
oh wow,
What do you hope they say about you and your music program?
I hope that they say thank you. And I am more confident and assertive in who I am as a person and what I want to do in life because of your program. Because you instilled that in me and all of my friends. Yeah.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call around these parts certified audio gold.
100% cotton.
100%. You know, that's like our family thing.
I love it.
That's my dad has a license plate and everything on his car.
Yes.
100% cotton. T-shirts are made too.
Literally.
Yes.
I love it.
It's our
I
thing,
love it.
you know?
Man. So, Ms. Cotton, I'm gonna give you the floor. Any message that you have to the people that are listening? What's like? Is there anything that you just want them to know? Anything that's on your heart? Here's your moment.
Ooh. It's been interesting. So this is kind of just relating to the start of this new year and my chorus kids in general. It's been hard to start this year. And we've had some ups and downs and some weird things come up that has never happened before. But my message to any chorus kids that are listening, we're okay. It'll be okay. Whatever it is you're going through, y'all know you can talk to me. You can talk to one another. Be there for each other. And everything will be fine. What has happened in the past, like, month or two, leave it back there. Leave it back there. We're going to move forward and put on the best productions, performances, create all these awesome memories, travel, and everything will be okay. We're okay.
I know they believe that because I don't even know what you're talking about, and I believe it.
I'm saying, like,
everything gonna be all right. We gonna do it. Let's do it. I'm pumped.
Let's go.
I'm ready to sing back up right now.
Oh yeah, Miss Cotton. We said at the beginning that this episode is going to be an absolute banger. You've dropped audio gold, certified audio gold. It's an honor. It's a pleasure. Aww. Especially to have an avid listener on.
Man,
yeah,
what?
I'm such a fan.
She was down the hallway like, when's my time?
Yeah, but for real. Look,
I'm so excited.
Honest to God, though, like, how many people have we had since we started this? They're like, hey, so when can I come on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, the production quality is, like, top tier. Like, it's so good.
And let's, once again, like, we got to give a shout out to Callaway Media.
Yes.
Yes. I'm gonna say this on the record too. I've got to get a list of anyone and everyone that's got a hand in the Real PLC. And I don't know if y'all know this, but we've sparked kind of a revolution. Like, we got students that are putting on podcasts now.
Yes.
Like, this is pretty cool. So actually, it might be in the works. So we do a crossover with some of the students.
Bro,
Like, you know how cool that's gonna be.
Talk to me nice.
Like, that's gonna be awesome. Once again, thank you for trusting us and trusting our platform. Yeah, this has been awesome. So, Coach, you got anything?
Stay driven, do your thing. We're going to be okay, just like Miss Cotton said.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to The Real PLC. Once again, a meeting that shouldn't be an email. Meeting dismissed. Peace out, everybody.